This episode of Deep Space Pride, a gay Star Trek podcast, is dedicated to the 5 lives that were lost in the Club Q shooting in Colorado Springs on Sunday morning, November 20th, 2022. Daniel Aston, Kelly Loving, Ashley Powell, Derek Wayne Rump, and Raymond Green Vance. May you all rest in peace. Welcome to Deep Space Pride, a gay Star Trek podcast. My name is Mike, and this week we are going to be talking about 2 episodes of Star Trek Prodigy, catching up on a few news bits, and catching up on our lives a little bit as we roll into the holiday season 2022. Thanks for joining us. Hi, Johnson. How's it going?
Hey, Mike. I'm good. How's your week going?
Not bad for a Monday. We're recording early because it's Thanksgiving week here in the U.S.
Yeah!
Oh, my word. That was a lot of energy. That was a lot of energy for Thanksgiving.
I mean, it's my favorite holiday. So
Really?
Yes, it is.
Do tell. Why? Christmas is my favorite holiday. Why is Thanksgiving your favorite holiday?
Because Thanksgiving is, in terms of timing, it's great. Because it's also the prelude to more holidays. So there's more to look forward to after Thanksgiving. And then Thanksgiving itself, it's also very much about food and gathering. And I love that. I feel Christmas and the holidays, it's like, depending upon who you're talking to and the friends you're with, like it could, there are very different celebrations, but Thanksgiving, everyone's on the same page. It's like getting together and eating, right? And it's always the same. Like there's something very consistent about it versus the holidays and Christmas, again, based on who you're talking to. Are there gifts involved? Is there food involved? Are there games involved? And sometimes you gotta like figure it out a little bit. And then Christmas is also, oh my God, the year is almost over. Oh my God, it's almost New Year's. Like, then it's like ending. It's like at the end of the holiday season and it's all over, So that's what I like about Thanksgiving. It's both the holiday itself, but then the lead up to more anticipation that there's more to come.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Well, then your enthusiasm is noted and appreciated for such great thoughtfulness around the holidays.
Yeah. No, I like Christmas too. It's just like you're like, oh, New Year's is right around the corner, and then after New Year's, it's like everything's like it's the dead of winter, and there's nothing else to look forward to. So,
I mean, your birthday is right after New Year's. That's something to look forward to.
I hate the timing of my birthday. It's just like it's like after all people have been celebrating holidays for like a month and a half, and then it's like, all right, gotta deal with this shit. Gotta go to this fucker's birthday party, So yeah, usually that's how it is. And then this year it's like on a Tuesday. It's like, thanks for nothing, bitch,
Fair enough. Well, maybe we can actually celebrate your birthday this year, because last year there was the COVID wave again.
Right, it was the Omicron spike. Yeah.
Yes. So there was a cancellation of your big birthday gathering.
Correct.
And so no, I don't know. For me, the holidays, and I'm trying. So Dennis and I went to dinner last night, and I'm trying to talk this out and think this out and get more rational about this. But the holidays stress me out.
Right, you were sharing that, and I was like, I don't understand.
Well, of course, yes. Because it's an emotional thing, and I
was like, does not compute.
Yes, exactly. So, Yeah, no, it's just, it's a lot with family pressures and,
What's the
you
pressure
know,
with family?
well, just to go and to get there. And, and this year I'm not going
Mm,
anywhere, mainly because Dennis has to work on both sides of Thanksgiving this year. So,
right.
um, but it's making that decision to stay and and just tell people that I'm not coming to Thanksgiving. And
Yeah, but then you make it up later. Whatever.
what's that?
You just make it up later with like Christmas or something, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely going to go for Christmas, so that's good. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, I get stressed out partly also because of gift giving. I think that's I think
Oh, into gifts.
I focused too much on finding the right gift for the person and put a lot of,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Just give
But
them
anyway,
money. Give them a gift card.
I mean, that's the easy way out. And my niece and nephews are growing up, so it's probably the easier of the options to do so. But
I'm sure they would appreciate money from Uncle. Like,
sure. Yeah,
like
probably
I'll,
true.
I'll, I'll be thrilled.
But when you get money, my whole feeling about giving and getting money is that you kind of forget that you like. It's not that you forget that you've got the money. It's that once you spend it, you don't necessarily know. Oh, like so and so gave me the money for this gift, so there isn't necessarily a direct appreciation for it.
People give me stuff and I forget who gave me this like a couple years later. I'm like, I don't remember who gave me this. So
Well, I'm not talking a couple years later. I'm talking like in the moment, in the season, in the. But anyway,
the sentiment of correlation and association with Uncle,
yes,
basically.
Yes, there we go. But anyway, I'm trying to get control of my emotions and
Yeah, bitch, wrangle them in, please. Yeah, just telling you, modulate that emotion chip.
Thank you.
Yeah.
As you say it with such great enthusiasm and support and care. Thank you so
yes,
much.
Of course, I'm here for you.
You are the most sensitive of friends, let me tell you. The most.
I am. Well, I'm the kind of guy that I'm just gonna like tell you straight. You can't let your emotions dominate you.
Sure.
So.
Well, anyway, I mean, you are Mr. Data, and without the emotion chip for the most part, so you're very lucky.
For the most part,
as Picard would say to Data, there are times when I envy you, Mr. Data. So
yeah.
Anyway, so we're going into the holidays, and we're also here to catch up on what's going on in the news and in Star Trek news, and also what's going on in our lives a little bit.
Right.
And
it's hard with Star Trek news because now we are recording bi-weekly. I'm like, there's news, but it might be 2 weeks old. I don't really know what's been happening.
Well, I think the big news, obviously, which is pretty recent, is that Mission Seattle is canceled.
Correct.
So that was an interesting development. Any thoughts on that announcement? I mean,
I don't know. So, I don't know much about Repomp because I've never really been, other than the one Comic-Con we've been to, which seems they have that down. I wasn't particularly impressed with Mission Chicago. I mean, you and I both talked about it at length leading up to the event, and we were like, why is it so haphazard? And, and we kind of gave them some slack because apparently there were some folks that left that caused a little bit of disruption in the planning, and that happens. But they didn't like have anything, like barely any infrastructure leading up to the event, like months and months leading up to the event. Even if there were quitters, like they just there wasn't anything. There was nothing there, and then I feel it was like basically thrown together at the end, and it was fine. It was once we went and we were there, it was fine. But people, we weren't the only ones complaining about it. So I don't know if this is really the result of Repop dropping the ball or Paramount being like, you guys suck. Or is it Paramount sucking? I don't know who the faulty party is, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
I
it's
agree.
hard to say. And we weren't even going to go. You and I weren't even going to go. Like, you had like a potential wedding, and then I was just like, well, if you're not going, I'm not going. And Seattle's so far.
Well, and now I have more than that. I have like a potential marathon and birthday celebration. So right near there. So, although it is on that side of the country, but my plans, or potential plans. So yeah, no, I agree. You know, I give, well, one, I've been to many Comic-Cons, New York Comic-Cons. Reed Pop, from my perspective, runs a really good Comic-Con.
Right. You know? But maybe Mission Chicago or Mission Star Trek or whatever is like the C team. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it's a C team at Repop. Meanwhile, Comic-Con is an A team.
I mean, it's possible. Yeah. I mean, it would be interesting if they did it like that, like broke it down like that. But yeah. So I'm surprised, and I think, you know, Repop's going to take a lot of, you know, might take a lot of heat for this, but I think that there's still the question of what is Paramount like in being a co-sponsor for such an event, and how supportive are they? So I was shocked, not shocked, disappointed, not disappointed. Obviously, we weren't planning on going.
Right. It was surprising. It was definitely, it came out of left field.
Yeah,
and they had announced it already and everything, and kind of made a big deal of it at Chicago anyway.
Yeah, so, they announced it 14, 15 months ahead of time, right? Right. Or maybe, 14 months or 13 months anyway, whatever it was.
So no, it was definitely surprising, and we can only guess as to why.
Yeah,
that happened.
We can. So. Yeah, I don't think we'll ever really know the answer, and I think we just have to,
Yeah, I'm sure everyone's like under NDA or something. So.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. So
it's hard to say, but it's just another. We talked about this. It's another like marketing mishap with Paramount. Like, I don't know whose fault it is, but it's just another feather in their cap. When it comes to not doing the franchise justice. And the list is long, and this is just another. It's just another example. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you have to, I guess, to some extent, take it with a grain of salt and just accept it as kind of SOP, standard operating procedure, for things of a marketing nature from that involve Paramount. So
right.
So we just kind of move on, and but that was the big news of the week. We really have no other major Star Trek news. The only other thing that I wanted to bring up briefly is that, and I can't remember if it came out last week or if it's coming out this week, or it's coming out soon, is a new Star Trek #1 comic starring Captain Benjamin Sisko, who's coming back from post season 7 DS9. So I've not read it, I've not picked it up, I haven't seen it yet, but I do know that is coming or is just out there, and so that might be worth picking up and taking a look at and seeing what they're doing with that character. But that's really the only other news that I can think of. But I thought really quickly, since we are...
Wait, I had one other thing.
Oh, you did?
Other thing. Oh, Discovery wrapped.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Wilson Cruz posted yesterday or the day before. Sunday, maybe it was yesterday.
He was like, "Are you ready? You're not ready." I was like, "I don't even want it, so whatever." I should have responded, but yeah, I'm not ready, and I don't want it. So there we are. But yes, they did wrap production, primary, principal photography or whatever it was. So now they're going to go into post.
Yes. 5 months of recording, or is it recording? Taping? I don't know. What do you call it?
Principal photography.
Filming. Principal photography. Yes, is finished. So Wilson is coming back to New York City. Maybe we'll run into him on the streets of New York City and say hi.
Maybe.
So yeah,
and I'll also articulate my lack of enthusiasm for his show. But there we are.
No, you do not. Why would you do that? Well, I mean, what happens if he wants to? We want him to come on this show, don't we?
That's true. I gotta fake it till I make it, man.
Oh, whatever. My word. I mean, Discovery has had some good parts to it. It may not be the
yes.
There are good parts to all Star Trek. It's just not your favorite.
Of course. No, it's fourth in place of the new ones.
fourth or
fifth. I don't try to figure out which one's worse, Picard or Discovery.
Oh wow,
that's a tight race to last for me.
You are a tough critic, but yes,
you know this about me though.
I do know this about you, so This is not a surprise. What else is going on? We are making plans to be on Trexperts quiz show.
Right. Yeah, we talked about that last time, right?
So we are finalizing our date for recording. I am extremely nervous about this. I feel like I need to do an emergency rewatch of something. I don't know what.
What? That makes no sense. It's like the category is gonna, even if it's like a very specific category, it's still very broad. Like it's not just from one episode.
No, of course not. No, I mean, a rewatch of an entire series or something. I don't know.
Oh my god! Like panic watching. Like,
I mean, I'm a little panicked, and it's funny because Davey listens to our podcast, and yes, I possibly will be panic viewing or like late at night scrolling through Memory Alpha, memorizing details or reminding myself of details. I don't know.
All right. Well, I don't really feel anything about it. I just don't, I don't think we're going to do well, but I don't really feel anything.
No.
Which I guess is, again, standard operating procedure. But yeah, no, the questions are hard. Like I listened to the most recent one, which is about the Klingons. I knew like none of them. I knew like some of them, but I don't know any Klingon names like other than B'Elanna Torres, Martok, and Worf. Like it's like they're all so random. Like because he was asking questions about who is so on and so forth. I'm like, bitch.
Oh yeah, no, like
what is memes? Like
what is the sash that Worf wears called? I mean, I
no idea. And then he said the answer, and I was like, I still don't. It doesn't ring any bells.
I would have called it the Warrior's sash.
Just like makeup answers.
Yeah, makeup answers. So yes, hopefully my creativity will be spawned when we record this, and we'll at least we'll have fun doing it. I know that, but yes, I don't expect...
but we have to bring like the gay into it for sure.
Okay.
Like that's critical.
Oh, we have to bring the extra.
Any answers we come up with that are made up need to be as gay as possible.
Okay.
Like,
all right.
That's the prerequisite going into this.
All right.
So.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. Well, we'll have to prepare a little bit or do something. I feel wholly unprepared for this. Day drinking.
I mean, it's hard to prepare. You're gonna read the Star Trek Encyclopedia? Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, no, I had no idea. I doubt that very much. No, so
it's hard to prepare. It's like, and I'm not. You think I'm good at trivia? I'm really bad at trivia. I'm really not good at if you put me on the spot. Like I'll remember like random shit, but if you put me on the spot with a question, I'm actually very poor at just instantaneous recall. I'm not good at that.
Yeah.
So I'm good at like making connections in my head, like when we're talking conversationally, and I'll be like, "Oh, this reminds me of this," it's very random. But if we literally just put a gun to my head and ask me a question, I'll be like, "Just kill me now," because I'm not gonna get time for this. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I feel like you're much more. You have these details at the tip of your tongue pretty easily, or more easily. You're what I
You
would
might
call the
surprise yourself. So
I
yeah,
could
I'm just saying.
surprise myself. You are right.
Yeah.
Sure. But
So
yeah. Well, we'll see. But it's a great podcast to listen to because it's just so much fun to play along and realize that after
I'm a
800,
dummy.
yeah,
I'm a complete fucking idiot.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but there was that one time it was like DS9 oriented, and it was so good. DS9 season 2.
Yeah,
Season 2.
Yeah.
They knew almost everything, and I was very shocked and awed.
All this to say that we will be not invited back for the tournament of champions that I'm sure he will have eventually.
No, absolutely not.
But
absolutely not.
I am.
There's like no way. There's no way.
No. So,
oh my God.
It's very yes. It's going to be very interesting. To do this. So yes, we're going to feel like complete idiots and assholes, and it'll be great because I plan on drinking. And then I just received a party invite that's happening right after the recording. So, so it'll be great.
Like a holiday party?
Like a holiday. Oh, it's called a winter soiree.
Wait.
So yes.
Who's hosting it? What's happening?
Oh, it's my friend David, who has had many parties. He's So
are you gonna dress up?
God, no. What are you talking about? Dress up? Like,
all right, what? It's a soiree. I'm kind of like, oh, that's kind of fancy.
Oh, well, I mean, it's very specific. So the time is 8:30 to 10:55, at which point that phase 1 of the party ends, and then we're supposed to go out to a bar at Hell's Kitchen, which I don't know if I'll do that part, but
okay.
But anyway, yes. So it is a 2-phase party, but it starts at 8:30. So, and we're potentially on tap for 2 hours of recording track spurts. So we'll see what happens. But I plan on drinking for this game because that's the only way that maybe the alcohol will jog my memory somehow. And
I can give you an edible if that's going to help you.
Oh no!
Yeah.
No, that will not help me.
So for one of my Friendsgivings, so for the Saturday Friendsgiving, I went around giving everyone. Do you want edible? Do you want edible?
Oh my word!
Yeah, and 3/4 of the group took one, and by the end, I mean, people were relaxed, but one of them was like very giggly because he had 2. He was very giggly. It was funny.
Did you get this from one of the new local edible stores in New York City?
No, I got this from Denver actually.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, they've been doing that for quite a while, so these are probably high quality edibles.
So, yes. No, they're good. They're good.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yes. So.
Well, all right, cool. I do want to take a serious moment here because I think it's. This is a gay Star Trek podcast, and yesterday not yesterday, well, sort of yesterday, Saturday night, in Colorado Springs, there was another shooting at a LGBTQ club called Club Q, and 5 members of our community were killed, and last I saw, 25 people were injured. And wow, that just gave me shivers just saying that out loud. I've read stuff and I have not really talked too much about this, so
right.
But it definitely gives me vibes of, obviously, of the Pulse nightclub shooting back in
Right.
2015. And, I think it really pisses me off for a lot of reasons. I mean, this bullshit about what is it? Prayers, thoughts and prayers. Like this is where I get really pissed off. All of that, go fuck yourself. Really. I mean, honestly, like anybody who says that, go fuck yourself. And the people who are stoking this kind of sentiment are saying that, and double go fuck yourself to them. But it's really, really sad that we live in a world where someone feels like the need to take another's life because they're different, because it's just, and there's a lot of political connections to the shooter and to the killer, to the murderer.
I didn't even read up on him.
Yeah. There's some definite political connections. But more importantly, I think I just saw, and I didn't read the whole article yet, but there was this army major, I believe, or
he's a major.
Someone from
he was the one.
He was a major.
Yeah, he was there with his family.
Yeah, who was there with his family,
with his wife and kids.
Show. Yeah, watching a drag show, and who went right into action and saved a number of people's lives, obviously.
Right.
And it takes more people like that in this world to really step up and put their life on the line, which he has innumerable times. I think he's been on 4 tours of duty in various Middle East countries during the last 20 years. So really want to give him a shout out. But it's really, it just really pisses me off. And I feel sad, and I feel horrible for those families. And there's a GoFundMe page. We'll try to find that and put that into our show notes. There is the Trevor Project, who I'm a big fan of. And GLAD is also another great organization to support. But these are the places and the things that we need to do as a community to continue to support ourselves, one another, and make this world a safer place. So, I just want to really honor those 5 people. We don't even know their names yet. And wish all of the people who are hurt during this incident a very speedy recovery. And our love and support from Deep Space Pride goes out to you. And but I thought we should take a moment and recognize that that's the world we live in, and that we have a long way to go in order to reach that utopia that Star Trek espouses.
It's not happening, man. I don't think it's happening. So just
I'm not confident either that it's going to happen, but
I'm very low confidence. Very low confidence.
It's something to strive for, and we need to continually to strive for that. But my heart goes out to all those people who are affected by this.
For sure. Yeah.
I'll definitely be donating to the GoFundMe page, and we will find it and put it into our show notes this week. So if you want to support people who are in need, then please support that GoFundMe page.
John Billingsley, Phil Phlox, Hollywood Food Coalition here. Guess what? Trek Talks 2. It's happening. You asked for it. You got it. January 14, 8 hours of premium Star Trek entertainment, amazing guests, mad cappery, insightful social commentary, musical interludes. Support HoFoCo. Check us out at hofoco.org, helping people in need for almost 40 years. 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, on the 14th of January at trektalks.net. Live long and mark your calendars. Again, Trek TrekTalks.net.
Let's switch gears to Prodigy and the lesson of the week. We're going to talk about 2 episodes this week, All the World's a Stage and Crossroads, which Crossroads sort of feels like a mid-season finale almost. And
wasn't that also the name of the movie that Britney was in? Crossroads?
Oh, yeah, it was.
Wasn't it? It was, so. Right? Mm-hmm. I mean, I never saw it, so I mean, I adore Britney. But I never watched Crossroads. I'm sorry, Brittany.
I don't think I ever watched the movie either. But yes, I'm a fan of Britney as well.
Yes.
So this week's lesson from Kate Mulgrew, who plays Catherine Janeway, is...
she doesn't need an introduction, Mike. She introduces herself on every video, but it's like, hi, I'm Kate Mulgrew. And I'm like, we know, bitch, who you are. Okay, I hear you. Sorry.
Yes, I mean, maybe it's that moment. Maybe it's that moment when she says that we should just like bow down and be like, yes, you're Catherine Janeway. Yes, you're the queen. Yes. Yeah, you're our grandmother. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
She does seem very grandmotherly.
She does. And, I think that, Voyager is not my favorite show, obviously. But,
yes, we know this.
But she was the first female captain. And, she's an inspiration to a generation or more of young women.
Mm-hmm.
So all the kudos to her, but I've really come to appreciate her in Prodigy. And when we saw her in Mission Chicago, she would just blew me away. We saw 2 panels with her. One was on Prodigy and one was on her book, talking about her life.
She's
and
fantastic.
She's just amazing. So she can announce herself all she wants, Johnson, and we will be here for it.
I was like, I know who you are. Anyway.
But she does it so seriously on these Instagram videos, and I don't know where else they post these, but she does it so seriously and so formally.
It's really serious. Like, hi, I'm Kate Mulgrew.
Yes, I want her to but it comes off very maternal, grand maternal almost. Like, hi, I'm your grandma.
Hello, I'm Kate Mulgrew, and I play Catherine Janeway from Star Trek Prodigy. That's how.
Which I think she does. When she gets on stage, I think she does that. But when she's doing these videos, she's very
she's very just straight faced.
Yeah. So, but we love her.
Of course.
We love her. But this week's question or lesson, whatever we want to talk about, however we want to, is not letting the fear of failure prevent us from attaining our goals. Mm-hmm. And so this week we're going to share a little bit about that from each of us. Mm-hmm. And Johnson, you're so good about this, and you're the one who started this, so sure. I'm gonna put you on the spot and ask you to share when you have either allowed or not allowed fear of failure to stop you from attaining one of your goals.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about this, and I'm gonna go back to college because it was just I was thinking about this, and I was like, shoot,
so long ago,
use college time again as an example, but it was for many of us, a very formative time. So it's fine. Next time we share, I'll try to pick a different era of my life. But for this particular question, I think back to my college days from a more educational perspective. And for those that don't know, I majored in biology. I do not work in the biomedical field. I work in advertising and marketing.
Nothing scientific about the work you do.
Yeah. But, I would say halfway through college, I would say beginning of junior year, I kind of got the idea that biology in general, whether it's like medicine or research or academia, none of those fields were attractive to me. And I really wanted nothing to do with it. And this is an example of how the fear of failure really dictated my course, because I decided to stick with biology. I decided to stick with biology because in my mind, I had a very specific idea of what success was. Success was graduating within 4 years, getting a job after college, and having a very specific course afterwards. And I wasn't ready at that point to be like, oh, I'm going to like change things up and go after something else. Even though at that point I knew that it wasn't, the major that I selected was not for me. And I don't know if I would go back and change it. I did think I did, I think I stuck with that course out of fear, because again, it was a fear of failing, where failing was not sticking with that very specific idea of success. And not deviating from that. And I think I've changed over the years. I'm much more, I wouldn't say I'm like a huge risk taker, but I'm also not like, I'm not particularly risk adverse, like, as I used to be. I used to be much more risk averse. And I think that it put certain tracks on my life, like that fear of failure, or having a certain idea of avoiding failure, or having a very narrow idea of what success is. I think it's very specific guideposts into how I approached academia or my life, and how I did work and things like that. And it was restricting, after if I was to look back, I'm like, yes, it was a restricting way of living and way of thinking. And I worked it out. I decided, even though I graduated with a bio degree, I'm like, I'm not going to pursue that. I'm going to do something else. Ultimately, I was able to turn that around into something different that I felt ultimately does resonate more with who I am, my personality and such. But yeah, you never really quite know where life is going to take you. And to what Vice Admiral Jane was saying, the fear of failure has killed many dreams. I don't know if I had like very specific dreams at that point in my life, like other than getting a job, because I'm very goal oriented. So at the point, it's like, get a job. I don't know if it's like a dream, but it was kind of like a goal. And yeah, I think, yeah, I feel this is a slightly poorly formulated story, but I do think that's a specific example where the fear of failure put very specific, put my life in a very specific direction. And I think that if I was to have approached my idea of failure or success in a much more innovative and different way, then I would have been able to maybe find myself a little bit sooner. So, yeah, that's my story.
Okay.
Hopefully that was somewhat coherent. I was kind of like making it up as I was going along, but hopefully, yes.
No, I think the last point that you just made about, how sometimes things impede finding out who we really are. I think that hit home for me. So, yeah. Well, thank you.
Great.
Thank you for sharing.
Of course, you're welcome.
For me, what's that?
What's your story?
For me, I think I'm going to pick a little bit more recent one in the last 5 years. One of the things that I have picked up and done is running. But I distinctly remember some markers, some points in that journey where I was concerned. I mean, or also that I hit a goal. Like I remember running my first mile and second mile on a treadmill at the gym. So, which was a big deal because I didn't think I was a runner. I didn't think I was made for running. I didn't think that I could do running. When I would be anywhere, if I saw people running, especially, and I'm not a crazy runner, so I won't run in the rain necessarily, but I've seen people running and I'm like, that is dedication. That is like, I want to be that crazy, but I'm not quite that crazy. But so I think that for me, the fear of failure was always like not being able to run, but also like I set some real specific goals up in order to give myself some confidence in doing this. So after running that, after being able to run more on a treadmill, I actually, and this is right before, like, that all happened right before I met Dennis. And then I met Dennis, and Dennis was doing the Ironman, which his last Ironman, or half iron, I believe. Yeah, it was a half iron. But he was doing that. He was training for that. And that was really inspiring. So then that made me sign up for a 5K and then also a 10K. So I did the 5K, and it was like, not really, it was like it wasn't like a race. It was a race, but like, it wasn't really like a, it was along the riverfront, and you had, it wasn't like places were cordoned off or whatever, like sort of like a marathon or half marathon is.
Sure. Yeah.
So I did my first 5K and did it and felt really accomplished. And then a month later, I think I had set these goals back to back. I was like, if I can do a 5K and a 10K within like a month of each other, I'll feel pretty good. And a month later, I did my first 10K, which also felt really amazing to be able to accomplish that and cross the finish line for that. That was the Haunted Island race back in 2020 or 2019. 2019.
Haunted Island?
Yeah, it was on, I believe it was on Roosevelt Island.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and I had to get up really early. I waited in this long line, took a ferry over to the island. It's an island where they used to house, I believe, people coming into this country. It was sort of like a backup to like,
to Ellis Island?
Liberty on Ellis Island. Thank you. Ellis Island. So, there are a lot of abandoned places that, parts of this. It's a national park, or it's a state park or something like that. But anyway, so I did complete my 10K, and I think I came home that night, and that's when I decided to sign up for a half marathon. And so 4 months later, I signed up. Dennis and I both signed, because he was very supportive and helpful. We signed up for a half marathon, and but all this time, like, I think I was afraid of, and I don't remember at what point I decided I came up with this mantra that I am a runner, which I never identified myself as a runner. And so, but all this time there was this fear of not being able to do it. And even though training for it and preparing for it, there's still this, this little bit of fear that I can't achieve this goal. So, but I didn't let my fear of failure stop me. Now, fast forward to today, we did another half marathon a year ago, which was slightly painful for me. I had some, I can't remember if it was knee or ankle or leg, just pains that really slowed me down. Now, I didn't do horrible on time, but so that was my last race a year ago, and then things kind of shut down and life kind of took over in a lot of ways. And so I'm just starting to get back on the treadmill and start running again, with the plan to run a marathon next June. So I would say that the fear of failure, of not being able to achieve that, is slightly higher right now. So, but I'm trying not to let it stop me from achieving this dream, which is to run a marathon before my next birthday. So, so there we go.
You'll be fine. You have plenty of time to train.
It's
7 months.
7 months. Yeah, it's 7 months away. So
plenty of time.
Plenty of time. Yes. But I need to get stepping on it. I need to get it into gear. So
no. Oh my God, I can't imagine.
And here we are in, freezing cold weather now already. And it's
I know. Oh my God. But you have a treadmill.
We do. Yes. And so I've started running on that again. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
good.
Yeah. So, So that's my story. Well, speaking of Prodigy and Catherine Janeway, why don't we get into our kind of thoughts about the latest 2 episodes of Prodigy? The first one being All the World's a Stage. And then we'll get into Crossroads in a little bit.
I did like this episode. I do think that the writers did have a lot of fun with it, because it's so much throwback. It's all the Easter eggs and references, and I thought that it was very clever, like just overall. And I just really enjoy the setup, because you go in and you're like, what the fuck is happening? You're like, what is happening? And then they slowly reveal that they literally have modeled their society on the ideals of Starfleet and the Federation, just from Ensign Garavik, who I don't know because I never watched the Immunity Syndrome. Wait, is it from the Immunity Syndrome that he was in? Or is it Operation Annihilate? Sorry, no, that's the wrong one. Operation Annihilate is like the one with the parasites flying around. Yeah, no, but this is with the blood sucking cloud, right? I don't know TOS. Like, what was the name of the episode?
Yeah. Well, all right. So hold on. Yeah. So yes.
But that's like the one episode that we had Ensign Garavik in, right? He was only in one episode of TOS.
It was I believe, and I'm going to double check it as you kind of talk some more, but because I did go back and watch it. I did go back and watch it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So
we had a number of shuttlecraft Galileos, as we know. That we know.
Yeah.
So this was one of the ones that went missing. Apparently, that just disappeared.
Which is not necessarily related to the episode that I watched, but
no, it's not. It's basically a little bit of retcon. Like they kind of went back and kind of like inserted some additional mythology, right? But I kind of wish it connected directly to an unanswered question in an episode, because that's why I thought it was. But then when I read more about it, I was like, oh, they kind of just drew up some of their own narrative to kind of create the foundation for the story.
So the episode that they referred to is actually Obsession. So
Obsession! There we go.
So this is the episode that, StarTrek.com referred to, a lot of the stuff that I get is through they have various channels on Instagram. So I don't know which one it came up, but they're constantly putting up these episodes to go back and watch, right? So that are usually referential to whatever episode is on TV, whether it be Lower Decks or Picard or, whatever. In this case, Prodigy. And so it was Obsession from from season 2, it's episode 13.
Yes.
And it actually has to do with Kirk and Kirk's original, his
was it the Farragut or something?
Yes. His first captain was Captain Garavik from the Farragut. And his
Captain Garavik from the Farragut.
Yes. Yes, that was his first captain, and he's obsessed with kind of solving this problem, this thing from his past. But what's kind of the clincher is Ensign Garvik is on the Enterprise, and he's actually the son of the captain, who he lost. Who he lost. Kirk is one of the few survivors on the Farragut from this incident with this cloud-based
blood-sucking vampire.
Yes.
Cloud vampire. Vampire cloud.
So when I was watching it, I was like, what is where's the Galileo? How is this connected to Prodigy? And, you were telling me that it was not really directly.
It's not.
So it's anyway. So I don't really get how Ensign Garvik ended up on this world, or how a Galileo ended up on this world. Maybe someone can write in to us and tell us the secret to how this is all referred to. But anyway, so this society creates
a bit of retconning.
The society creates itself around the ideals of the Federation that they apparently have met from Ensign. And
I liked all the little mispronunciations. That was really fun. And then everything's a little bit wrong. Everything's just a little bit off. Like the Vulcan hand salute's off.
Yeah,
it's all the insignias are a little bit wrong, like things like that. It was very clever. I like that. It's like basically if you played a game of telephone and you were to try to extrapolate like all this information, what do you end up with 200 years later? That's basically what happened.
And this society sort of makes up a theater of these experiences,
like a play.
That they've been told about, apparently, about the the Enterprise or enterprising or something like that. I forget how they exactly refer to it.
It's like word of the fallacy of word of mouth and
Enterprisians, as they
Enterprisians. I mean,
and their colony is called New Enda. The colony is called New Enda Prize.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So, but obviously, the whole idea is that Garvik gets stranded on this planet. His shuttle crashes, and we learn that the shuttle is actually the cause.
I guess that's from his injuries, and then the shuttlecraft leaking plasma is the cause of the poisoning.
Yeah. So it's a really cute episode, and the Prodigy crew wants to help people in order to build up their reputation as
potential
good people.
Cadets.
As good people who can join Starfleet. So yes.
Right. It's funny because the last episode we talked about, I don't know if you recall, but you remember how I was obsessing over like very technical stuff or something? I was talking about how they're going from the Alpha Quadrant to the Delta Quadrant. How are they getting so fast? And then I think you were like, oh, but for kids, it's not really gonna matter or whatever. But this one is very like, if you don't know anything about a lot of the references, I feel obviously you still get something out of it, but there's a lot kind of lost on you. Like, because I was like, who's Ensign Garvik? I was like, I need to know. Like, I feel there's still definitely life lessons and things like that, sure. And I think a kid can still kind of get it. Kids are smart nowadays, so I'm like, I feel they can like kind of get it. But
I feel like this was like this whole society was created by a bunch of young kids who like saw a couple episodes of TOS and
Maybe,
like
yeah.
built up this world in their minds. Like,
yeah.
maybe they got a VHS tape
Oh my
of
God.
a few episodes of the original series, and that's all they got, and they had to build
I like the one scene where they're like play fighting, and do you remember they're like doing like the old like TOS fighting moves? Do you know what I'm talking about? Like
I
like walking through.
this.
They're walking through the habitat or whatever it is, and they see just people kind of like, either
they're
dressed
practicing
up in, like,
these fighting moves, right? They're
right, yeah. It was like totally from like a TOS episode. Like literally, if you watch like a TOS episode, that's the choreography, the fighting choreography back then, and they were just, they were like straight up just like emulating it. It was just really funny.
Yeah. No, I mean this is a kind of like a one-off story, right?
This is one of those more. This and like Kobayashi Maru are very like more referential and Easter eggy. Where if you're not a fan, you get it, but if you are a fan, it's like, oh my God, kind of geek out. There's a lot more to kind of fawn over. So
right, yeah.
It is one of those episodes where, and I do think Prodigy, they make, actually the next episode also has a bit of this, but sorry, not to get ahead of ourselves, but I do think this episode, you do get a lot more out of it if you know a little bit more about like the history and such, for sure.
Yeah, but then you get confused if you know too much and you're like trying to piece this all together and like try to figure out why the Galileo 7 is way out in this part of the universe and the galaxy and all of that. So yeah, you kind of can't overthink this episode, and it's just sort of a one-off, kind of funny, well written, but also I feel like the story itself overtakes like what's going on with the crew of the Protostar.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, because like,
other than them responding.
I think Dow had the most kind of like, because he got sick and he was freaking out a little bit.
Yeah,
but there wasn't much in terms of like character growth opportunity, I think, for the characters as much in this episode.
No, and it doesn't really advance the story. It's just sort of, a one-off adventure where they've decided that they need to do some good in the universe and try to beef up their reputation, and before they kind of go back to Starfleet or figure out a way to go back to Starfleet. So,
however, by the end of this episode, I don't remember the sequence of events here because I was watching this episode at the airport, so I was a little distracted. But due to the events that Dow goes through in this episode, by the end of the episode, he's like, we can't get to the Starfleet with the Protostar, but we're going to find another way. Like, they're resolved to kind of get to the Federation one way or another, with or without the Protostar, by the end of this episode. So it does advance that story. It sets up the next episode, basically.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. It does do that.
And I don't remember what leads down to that. Like, is it? I don't. Do you remember?
No, I don't. I only have watched this particular episode only once.
Yeah, I watched it once. I do not recall exactly.
Right.
I think it has something to do with being inspired by the start. How even these people that have never met the Federation, they're living by Federation ideals, or whatever. Yeah. It's something that has to do with that. So,
yeah, I don't know. I'll have to go back and watch it again at some point. But
oh my God, there's so much to watch right now. I watched all of The Crown. It was so good.
Okay, let's not get off on that topic.
There's so much other TV right now. There's so much TV to watch. I started to watch Disenchanted, like the sequel to Enchanted. Oh my God. I need to watch it.
But anyway, let's stick with Star Trek for now.
Andor is excellent. I can't wait.
Okay, let's bring this back to Prodigy for now.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
Okay. So let's talk about the latest episode, which is Crossroads. And by the time people are listening to this, will have seen I don't know, is this another mid-season finale? I don't know.
I don't know. I was going to ask you that. And if you know whether or not they're going to be showing 10 episodes, or if this upcoming episode is the last one for a bit. I have no idea. They haven't said anything.
Yeah, I don't know. From a screener perspective, so our audience
we haven't got any more
reviews. We haven't got any more. So, and so I'm assuming that we're going to be on a break after this week's episode, which is going to be an even longer break than before, right? So we have.
Well, you think we might not get anything? Maybe they'll take a break and they'll come back in January before Picard comes back in February.
Maybe that'll be it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but we're going to get a pretty significant 6-week break here, all through the holidays. So
we're guessing. We have no idea.
Yeah, we have no idea, but there's been no news.
Where's the TV guide? I need my TV guide.
I don't even know if the TV guide would tell you. I mean, it would just, your TV guide would just tell you what's on this week, which is episode 15. And it doesn't, TV guide never previewed the following week. You would go and pick it up.
I love TV guide because it would say new episode or repeat. And I would rely on that quite a bit.
Oh, well. In these days, we have the internet to resolve,
I understand. It's a very different time. It's a very different time. Our younger listeners, if they are any, are probably like, what the fuck?
What are you talking about? All right. Well, let's talk about the latest episode as of today, right? Is Crossroads, episode 14. And the crew goes to this planet with it felt very wasn't Rurapente, because that's a prison planet, and that's also the answer to one of the Trexperts questions. But
yeah, that one I
knew. Yes, actually, that's the one I knew too. One of the ones I knew too. But I'm trying to find. It was Delaxi Prime or something.
It was a travel outpost or something. It was a depot, travel depot, bus depot. I don't know.
Yeah, it was kind of like this backwater place that that they went to in order to basically ditch the protostar, right? And and go and find a ride to the Federation. So a daring, in between the last episode and this one, they've discovered. Oh, and we haven't even talked about the Diviner yet.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So we'll talk about that in a minute, but so I'm trying to find the name of this planet. Denaxi Depot is what it's called.
It was a depot. See?
Yeah. So they go there.
Imagine if that was a trivia question. It's like, okay, all right.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Not going to remember that.
Barely find it on Memory Alpha, let alone.
Maybe you would get a half a point for Depot. I don't know. But so they say goodbye to Janeway, and also we see Murph in a in a cocoon. Yes, so a cocoon.
Yeah. Well, Murph was already not feeling well in the last episode. We didn't mention that.
Yes, yeah. So Murph, and the crew kind of left him with Janeway was taking care of Murph, or watching over Murph while the crew met with this new society. So they go to the Denaxi Depot to find a ride to a Federation, and they're basically putting their thumb out and telling everyone there. There's no strategy on this, which
and they have nothing to trade. And I'm like,
yes,
what? Come on.
There's no kind of preparation for this.
Yeah, they should have figured out reconnaissance and been like, okay, can we at least bring some something to trade with?
Yeah, but I think that is that is inherently childlike in their approach to this. You know, like I think this kind of shows their lack of knowledge of the universe, right?
Lack of planning.
Well,
I did freak out.
Kids.
Oh, sorry. I suppose I did freak out when we saw Xindi reptilians, which I recognized immediately.
I did too. Yep.
And then I was like, Xindi reptilians, and I pointed at my TV screen. Yeah, like that, just like that. And it was like, wow, like this is the first time we've seen any Xindi species, since Enterprise. So it was kind of great.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Yeah, and they weren't they weren't overly hostile. They were the security for the place.
They were just doing their thing. Whatever. They
were security, they were security at this depot. So, so they're just going around like trying to bum a ride. And of course they run into Okana right away, which is a throwback to Next Generation, which is a nice little touch. So we have Xindi, we have Okana, we have Enterprise and Next Generation represented here.
Yes, I think, of course you have the crew of the Daedalus there as well. Sorry, what were we saying?
The Dauntless.
Oh, is it the Daedalus? It's the Dauntless. Daedalus is something else from mythology. Sorry, the Dauntless.
Yes. So yes, we have them there as well, beaming down, which is very interesting. Like, again, I guess the universe is a small place, so. Yes. Interesting that they're both at the same depot at the same time.
I know.
And clearly a blizzard does not affect transporters. So,
of course, yes.
At least for the Dauntless anyway.
But they were there. The crew of Dauntless was there to find the Nobulin that was on the relay station.
Yes. Oddly enough, he ends up there.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he was looking for travel. Maybe he was looking for that could make sense. Maybe he was looking for a way back to the Federation or something like that. I don't know.
His name is Barnus Frex.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, see, I would not.
So a bit of a storyteller making up this story. This relay was killed by a bunch of hooligan. Evil people, and fortunately Janeway does realize in chasing them that they're kids, but it does lead to some very interesting things. So first of all, just to back up a little bit, we do have the diviner, and he's gradually getting his memory back, as he did in the last episode, as he did in this episode when he eventually sees the protostar. He does give Ensign Essentia Gwen's name. So she runs into Gwen on the planet. Jankum Pog runs into Dr. Noom, I think his name is. And Jankum is really excited because he's meeting another Talaxian, and then we learn that Pog means
runt or something.
Shrimp or runt, yes.
That was so sad and so mean. I was like,
yeah, it was. It's very Tellarite, right? It's very being mean and that's very on par with Tellarites. So not at all shocking, but yes. Yeah. Then you get the perspective now that they're kind of out and about with a bunch of other people. You get the perspective Jankum is actually really short and small.
Right. Yeah, because he's hanging with kids all the time.
Yeah, so obviously Rock is a big Brakar, and Dal is kind of a tall-ish teenager, as is Gwen. Although Gwen's age isn't exactly clear, but
sure.
So yes, and then we have Murph, and obviously Zero is kind of ageless. So, so we learned a little bit about Pog and what that means in Tellarite. So they all, a bunch of them kind of run into Starfleet. Dal runs into Janeway, which leads to the whole fear of failure conversation that they have. And, he has the opportunity to tell her what's, that they have the protostar and that it's got a weapon on board. And he freaks out a little bit. He freezes, I would say.
Well, he was going to say more, and then Martin Frex,
bring over
is that his name?
Barnes Frex. They bring over Barnes Frex.
Barnes Frex comes over, and he's like, "Oh, gotta go." Because
he slinks off, rightfully so, because Frex is telling this big tale about these kids who destroy his relay station. So side
note but related, I do feel that Kate Mulgrew did a good job differentiating the tonality of Vice Admiral Janeway and Hologram Janeway, because Vice Admiral Janeway was much more like stern and a little bit harder. Versus Hologram Janeway, I thought that she did a really good job doing that.
Yeah, I did too. In fact, it made me actually like Hologram Janeway a lot more, and
I know,
and it made me dislike Vice Admiral Janeway a little bit.
Well, because she only knows what she knows, and she's on a mission to save her first officer / potential lover. I don't know.
Yeah,
she's really emotionally invested here.
The shipping of her and Chakotay, the shippers are alive right now. So yes, in fact, that leads to a confrontation later on with her first officer. So.
It does. Which is interesting. Yes, that was also very interesting, and I like that too.
Yeah.
Continue.
So I do hope that we get a softer Vice Admiral Janeway eventually.
Maybe eventually. I would say eventually. But not right now.
And I do look forward to a conversation.
She needs to save Chakotay.
Well, yeah, I understand. But we also kind of know that this story is barely half over. Like, not even half over yet. And so there's more things to come, I'm sure.
Right. But I feel they can only, stretch out, where is Chakotay for so long? I don't know.
Right. Well, my concern is, and that, I feel very much like Gwyn did when she learned that her dad was on the Dauntless. I am not comfortable with that at all.
Sure.
He is an evil genius. Mm-hmm. He is our nemesis, if we were to say, and he is basically turning Starfleet against our heroes, the kids, so who are all really excited to join Starfleet.
He's also kind of doing because he doesn't have all his memories. It's kind of inadvertent. It's only
yes and no. I don't exactly trust what he's sharing and not sharing, but
I don't think right now he's doing it on purpose.
Okay, all right.
Right now, I mean, with his memory kind of scattered somewhat, I don't think he's doing it on purpose.
Well, yeah. So I'm interested to see what they do with him. Although I love John Noble, he's a great character, a great actor, but I really don't like the Diviner, and I'm concerned for our Protostar crew.
Sure.
So anyway, so we do have that kind of nemesis involved in our story here as well, but I think it's very much, obviously it's pitting the adults against the kids, very much so, in a lot of ways, which I find kind of tropey. But again, this is a kids show, so I think that the adversary really is in general just being misunderstood by adults. And adults thinking that they know better, which I think is, so I hope that we somehow don't just get a story based around that. This is a kid's show. So, I mean, it's, meant to kind of teach these lessons. And
Right.
so, but and I'm
Someone
here
should have
for it.
written. Someone should have just written Janeway like a note, like just a paper note, being like, "Hey, here's the deal."
Yeah, right, yeah.
Like old school.
That's true. Yeah, just like slipped it in her pocket, not for her to find.
Yeah.
Or maybe she like rustles in her pocket on the bridge and finds the piece of paper, and
there has to be like a old school way of communicating that's not going to compromise them. I was thinking about this. Like I was like maybe like Morse code through the windshields or something.
Yeah.
Like that even.
That's interesting. Yeah, these are good ideas. I like where your head's at with this. I did not think that they, but instead we're now, a huge chase happens. They've damaged the protostar, and they have to,
Murph emerges from
cocoon
and accidentally launches a torpedo, at the Dauntless.
Yes.
So,
which Murph has been on that console before many times and has never fired a torpedo. So that whole thing happening was kind of like, because I watched it again yesterday or the day before, and I watched him jump up on that, and I actually forgot that, because he's been on the displays before, and I just kind of so I was kind of surprised by that fact happening. So easily, but again, it's a new Murph. His body is a little bit different, so maybe that's also why. But we get a new Murph, who's very cute.
Another plushie to sell if they ever release the plushies. That is
right. Yes. Yes, exactly. So, I mean, overall, I think this is a really enjoyable episode. I love how they get away. Okana helps them escape, and then helps them get into the
neutral zone.
Into the Romulan neutral zone, yes. And there are, which is interesting, that the Dauntless, the Protostar gets by these Romulans, but the Dauntless does not.
Yeah, I feel like they could have given us a little more detail. Like, for example, if Okana knew the exact shield modulation frequency.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That would be able to get the Protostar across, but not, the Dauntless doesn't have that. Yeah. Because he was like, just modulate your shields or whatever, but I feel they could have added one more line just to explain that he has like codes or something. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, he knew how to specifically modulate their shields or whatever. Like, yes, help them. Yeah, that would definitely make more sense. Because it's clear, it's not very clear, because it's very sudden that they cross the neutral zone and the Romulans appear to face down the Dauntless.
Yeah, and then 3 D-Durex ships show up.
Oh, look at you, D-Durex.
Yeah.
You are preparing for your,
I mean,
quiz.
There's only so many. The problem is with the Klingons and the Romulans, there's only so many ship models. Like, there's not that many. The D-Durex ships are from TNG like 25 years ago, and it's the same ships. They don't have more. I'm like, at this point, they should have more advanced ships. I mean, I guess we got the Scimitar, but there should be more models, to be honest.
Look at you dropping another ship name. There we go, the Scimitar.
I mean,
and so we have the Scimitar which is that the one that the two that are in the Briar Patch? What are the ships that are in the Briar Patch? Do you remember? Those were kind of new battle cruisers. Those were
I know what
deadly.
you're talking about, but I do not know.
Those were Romulan, right?
Yeah. Yes. I don't know. Whatever. It's fine.
Anyway, so so there's a little headbutting between the first officer and Janeway, Vice Admiral Janeway.
Yes, because she's too emotionally invested in finding her lover. Potential. Potential lover.
Yes, we do not know their relationship, but they're obviously very close.
Yes, they're close.
Yes. as referenced in the very first scene of episode 11. So
Right.
So yes,
She
that's how
she needs to put her hand on somebody's chest, someone else's chest. And she does Chakotay all the time.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
it was the 90s. A lot was
a lot of touching.
That was long before Me Too and other movements. But anyway,
so separate but related. So
yes,
in 2014, I went to China with a friend of mine, and we went to get massages. Like nothing crazy, like a regular massage parlor, just regular massages. Like we've been walking a lot, and he and I got massages. Like we were like side by side, like tables, and the masseuses, they spoke Chinese, and of course they chit chat with me because they're like, "Oh, he's American and he knows Chinese." So I was like, "Oh my god, please leave me alone!" But they won't talk the whole time, and yeah, so I get very ticklish when I get massages. Like, especially my back, you need to like. There's certain areas that are like off limits, especially if you're gonna be like softly touching me. I like get very, very ticklish. Like, you gotta be rough with me. If you're not rough with me, I'm like going crazy. I'm so ticklish. So she's massaging my back, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm ticklish. Like, you gotta be like a little bit rougher. I basically said that, and she was like, so earlier she had asked me, because this is Asia, she was like, "Oh, do you have a girlfriend?" Like, I'm like, "No." I didn't want to like get into the whole gay thing. It was like not worth it. Because I was like, I just want a massage. I don't need to get into this whole thing. And she was like, and they made some weird comments because it was like me and my friend, and we're just friends, but they were like, why are the two of you traveling alone? What's up with that? I'm like, oh my god, because this is after them asking me about like, oh, do you have a girlfriend? Does he have a girlfriend? I'm like, no, he's gay too. Like, I didn't go into that, but I was like, that's not worth it. And then so I'm like ticklish. I'm like going crazy. I'm like, yeah, I gotta be rougher. And she's like, oh man. She was like, you really need to get the touch of a woman to help you out here. Just so it can get like more like used to being touched or something. I think this is where her headspace was. Yeah. And I was like, I'm just not gonna say anything. I'm like, I don't need the touch of a woman. I'm good.
But so this was 2014, right? You said 2014.
2014.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
there you go.
Yes. Again, the whole catalyst for this was us talking about Janeway touching every crew member, touching everybody. Watch Voyager. We watch Voyager. It's like Chakotay, she definitely touches the most, like the chest touch. I'm like, that is very intimate. But like Tom, Harry touching their backs, their shoulders, like a gentle caress, and I'm like, I don't know.
Well,
everybody,
there we go.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
Yeah. So apparently I need to experience the touch of a woman. So.
I think you're good. I think you're fine. But that's a great story. That is an excellent story, and that is yes, perfect.
Yeah, it's like China. They all get into your business. I'm like, I just want a massage. I don't need to talk about all this. I don't. Anyway.
All right. Any final thoughts on Prodigy Crossroads before we wrap it up for tonight?
So Crossroads, it was a cliffhanger. Like, it was very much cliffhanger. Because I watched past because I get commercials. So I was like, I was like, wait, is that it? And then I watched the next commercial break, and then it just went to credits. And I was like, oh, man, cliffhanger.
Oh, thank you for speaking of credits. I was watching the credits, and I picked up on the music a little bit more than normal. The closing credits definitely has some callbacks to Voyager in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I felt like But
the end credit music it's different. It
is
changes.
Different. Yeah, it is different. Yeah, and it's not the preamble. So if you listen to the soundtrack, there's this huge preamble. I don't know, maybe a minute long preamble. I forget how long it is. pretty significant preamble before the actual, like what we see on TV, the beginning of the music, which is, it's just very orchestral. But I actually don't remember listening to, or even if they have the closing credits on the soundtrack, I'll have to check. But more importantly, so I was just listening to it because it's good music, but I was definitely, and maybe it's because, obviously this was a Janeway heavy episode, but I picked up on some like tone, like some of the like classic Voyager like undertone of the music. I don't know. I'll have to
got it.
So I thought that was interesting. Let me see if I can find it really quickly, but of course I can't. But anyway, here it is. Okay, so let's see if they have. No, they do not have the closing credits on here. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, there we are.
So, although maybe I am missing. Oh, there's another version with 93 songs. So maybe I'm missing the full version of this. Oh, yes, I am. Okay. So maybe Admiral Janeway's theme. Maybe it's Admiral Janeway's theme. Anyway, I'll have to give that a listen. Anyway, any other thoughts before we wrap it up for tonight?
No. Well, Mike, do you want to talk about our sponsor?
Absolutely. So Fansets is the premier sponsor for Deep Space Pride and the Trek Geeks Podcast Network. And they've got some new releases. They've got the holiday Murph pin for 2022, which is really cute. It's got Murph with a Santa cap in 2022. It's got the little hole on top that you can put a string through it and hang it on your tree. So definitely go check that out. They also have added some Future Imperfect Lieutenant Deltas. There is a new Robin Curtis, Lieutenant Savick signed pin. They also have a Doug Jones signed pin. And also a Star Trek Picard Europa mission logo pin, which is interesting.
Cool.
Yeah. So plus all the deltas and everything else out there, that they do have the La Serena emblem pin. Yeah. So definitely go and check them out. They make great gifts. I gifted a pin to Johnson last year. I gave you Boimler, I believe.
I think so.
And and a Discovery pin for your tree, which I wonder if it survived the annual throw out of your tree.
It did.
It did.
Are you
Question
sure?
mark? Maybe. Yeah,
Wait.
I'm pretty sure I gave it to you. Anyway,
is it the Discovery Delta?
No, it's not the Discovery Delta. It's the Discovery. Like it's their 2021 or maybe even their 2020 pin. But anyway, go check them out. Okay. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I was like, do I have that?
Johnson is not the keeper of trinkets that
No.
But anyway, head on over to fansets.com, put a bunch of pins in your cart, buy some gift cards if you don't know what your intended gift receiver might enjoy. There are tons of other what do I want to call them? Fandoms. There we go. Fandoms in there, including
franchises?
Harry Potter. What's that?
Franchises.
What? Franchises.
IPs, something. I don't know.
IPs, yes. Yes. Head on over, check them out. Put a bunch of pins in your cart. If you put more than $30 in your cart, which is really easy to do, you're going to get free shipping in the US. And if you use the code TrekGeeks, all one word, you're going to get 10% off your order. And we want to thank Fansets for being the premier sponsor of Deep Space Pride and the Trek Geeks Podcast Network.
Thanks, Fansets. All right. Well, that does it for this week's episode. We'd love to hear from you. If you want to communicate with us and open a channel to us on social media. You can do that at Twitter and Instagram. I mean, Twitter, we'll see how much longer Twitter is around, TBD. But on both of those channels, you can reach us at Deep Space Pride. And you can also reach us on email at deepspacepride@gmail.com. And one of us will review your email and respond to you. That's it.
And sometimes both of us will respond, because you did pick up the conversation with Davey from Trexperts, which I was very proud of you for doing. Good job. So
I am more inclined to respond on social than over email. Like, at least an email that I don't even remember the password to. So, just saying.
Yeah. It's in our spreadsheet, but anyway. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. We'll be back in 2 weeks to talk about the mid-season finale. I don't know what to call it. Episode 15.
I don't know. That's okay.
And any other Star Trek news that happens. And maybe we'll get into off topic like Johnson tried to do in the middle of our Prodigy review. So
I can't help it.
He was very excited about a lot of TV, which we've talked about a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have more, or in 2 weeks, we'll have more time when there's less Star Trek to talk about. But anyway, thanks everyone for joining us. We'll see you back here in 2 weeks. If you're in the U.S., have a happy Thanksgiving. If you're elsewhere in the world, have a great end of November, and we'll see you in December.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Deep Space Pride is a production of Coconut Media Works. Executive producers Bill Smith and Dan Davidson. For more great Star Trek discussion, discover the other shows of the Trek Geeks Podcast Network at trekgeeks.com, or find us in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app.
Coconut.